All right, today's reading is going to be a little different. A lot of times I'm going to do like a quote of the day, my favorite quote of the day. And I was reading out of Every Moment is Holy. And it's about a 5 to 6 minute reading. I couldn't actually take that 5 to 6 minutes and just give you one quote out of it that I loved. It's the context of the full reading that meant something to me. So what I'm going to read today, it is going to be basically a prayer if you were a medical provider. So here's the question I wrote down for myself. What might this prayer sound like in your day-to-day and or vocation? Okay, if you were a small business owner, a coach, a realtor, single or stay-at-home mom, doctor, lawyer, accountant, teacher, laborer, firefighter, police officer, baker, working in retail, childcare, or fill in the blank. If you were to put together a prayer like this, based on who you are and what you do for a living, what might that sound like? So what we're going to hear is their example of someone who is a medical provider, what this prayer might sound like. Take this, and I would use it as a prompt. Use it as a prompt and an example to start journaling about what your prayer might sound like in your day-to-day life. I don't care if you're a stay-at-home mom. I don't care if you're a surgeon. Okay, just amazing what came out of this. So I'll just read it here. We're going to start, O Christ, our healer. There is no end to malady, sickness, injury, and disease in this broken world. So there is no end to the line of hurting people who daily need my tending. Therefore, give me grace, O God, that I might be generous with my kindness, and that in the healing and caretaking vocation, my hands might become an extension of your hands, and my service a conduit for your mercy. For it is often not as an easy place to be, so near to suffering, to injury, to pain, to emergency, and fear and confusion, and sometimes even to dying and death and grief. But I believe it is exactly the sort of place you would be, O Lord, amongst those who hurt. So let my practice of medicine be centered in an understanding of your heart. I love that. Let me practice medicine because you are a healing God who feels compassion and extends mercy. Let me practice medicine because you are near to those who are in need, to those who face grief and loss. Let me practice medicine as a willing servant of your redemption, pushing back by means of my vocation the effects of the fall. Let my presence in this place lend a human face to your compassion. Another line I loved. Let my presence in this place lend a human face to your compassion. Even when my schedule is crammed with appointments, rounds, or duties, let me never view my patients as mere tasks on a to-do list. Give me grace instead to be always, even in our brief encounters, attentive and responsive to the hearts of human beings made in your image. Let me extend kindness and mercy even to those who are too angry, frightened, bitter, or in pain to respond with anything but venom. Let me especially love them, for they suffer, even more than from physical ailments, from a lack of understanding or experience of your overwhelming grace and mercy and love. Let their time with me be to them a taste that might awaken a hopeful hunger in their hearts. I can do none of these things on my own. Apart from your grace, I have no grace to give. So give me your grace in greater measure, O Lord. Let me find also in the midst of such constant need a rhythm of service and rest that will enable my own soul to be tended and nourished, that in the time I spend with patients, I will have a deeper repository of patience and kindness to share with them. Teach me how better to balance my duties and my days so that this work would not make me absent from the lives of my family and friends and church. Let me be well woven into those communities and relationships, enjoying ample time with them, being available to them, and caring for their needs as I allow them to care for mine. Let me never be so consumed by my vocation that those closest to me suffer negligence. Gosh, that could be read in so many occupations. I would not just be a doctor or a nurse or a medical provider, oh God. I would be a minister of your healing and compassion at work in your world. I would be a living witness of your love expressed in a practical care of people. I would be your disciple in this place at this time among these people. So give grace, Lord Christ. Give me grace this day and all day that I might serve you well by loving and serving others in this healing trade, ever laboring in view of that day when your kingdom will be fully realized at the great mending of the world, at the great ending of all ills. Let me play a small part in that great work today. Amen. Oh, so good. So good. So those that are interested in that book, it's called Every Moment Holy. That's volume 1. That particular passage was the Liturgy for Medical Providers. And I will just reread my prompt to you once again. What might this prayer sound like in your day, life, and or vocation? If you were a small business owner, coach, realtor, single, or stay-at-home mom, doctor, lawyer, accountant, teacher, laborer, firefighter, police officer, baker, working in retail, childcare, or fill in the blank. I love that. Let me be that face of compassion for you, Lord. And then also when they went into the fact that we can get all consumed with our occupation. And what suffers? Our mental health, our relationships, our community, our family. And so it even has a prayer not just for their occupation, but they have their occupation in proper counterbalance. Such a beautiful thing. Hope that speaks to someone. You guys have a great day. Take care.